revolution that toppled Emperor Haile Selassie in 1974 began in this palace, 14 years earlier. But many Ethiopians don't know about this.
There was a coup d'etat led by, I think, two brothers at that time against the emperor. That was all I know.
The site has now become a museum that can be visited to uncover the country's past.
The coup was orchestrated by the head of the imperial bodyguard and his brother. They did not succeed, and they barricaded themselves here. They were here. And the final moment, forces loyal to the emperor, led by his son-in-law, broke the gate here, and came and started a shootout with the members of the coup makers.
This event sparked student protests and led to the formation of a revolutionary political party. But in 1974, the military took over, deposed the emperor, and ushered in Mengistu's communist dictatorship. The former imperial palace became his headquarters and is now open to the public.
When the communists brought their headquarters to this place, they brought the emperor to this room too. So the emperor was prisoned in this room for 10 months before he was killed. And they was also killed here, but we don't know how he was killed and buried somewhere else.
During this time, the royal family was confined in the basement of the throne room with cabinet members. Prince Bidimariam Mekonnen, Haile Selassie's grandson, has vivid memories.
I was held right there. At first, there was a bed, but later it was just the floor.
The emperor's ministers were executed by the communist military government, known as the Derg.
60 were killed before we arrived, and about a dozen more died after we got to the central prison.
For years, the legacy of Ethiopia's last emperor was buried by the Derg until it was revived. In 2019, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed launched a new cultural initiative to attract tourists. The imperial residences were meticulously restored and are now part of the Unity Park complex.
When I saw the restoration for the first time, I thought they had done an even more beautiful job than before. During the Derg era, it was badly damaged, so I was thrilled to see it restored.
During his 12 years in detention, Bidimariam formed friendships with fellow prisoners. These included revolutionary intellectuals who were at the start of the uprising and were later deemed traitors by the communist regime.
We see a photo of my late husband and me as a young revolutionary.
Tadilesh Haile Michael is an activist. Her husband was assassinated by the new regime. The couple were part of the Revolutionary Party that was influenced by Marxist-Leninist ideas and called for greater justice for the working class.
Many people wanted a transitional government. A government where everyone could be represented. Everyone who came out to fight for their rights. To draft a constitution for a set period. And personally, I think this is where we failed.
The Derg nationalized land and launched a major literacy campaign, but also centralized power and brutally repressed opposition. During a protest, Kibru, then 15, was shot twice and arrested. The T-shirt he wore that day is now displayed in the Red Tower Museum.
I will never regret what I went through. The revolution had a positive impact. I come from a peasant background and know how the feudal system treated people like us. Lords whipped us, raped our women, took our cattle. I experienced this myself. That's why I got involved. I fought for a just cause, and I'm proud of it.
Today, Kibru is a bookseller and is sharing his story for the first time. The Derg regime fell in 1991, but the fear it instilled lingers.
It was a terrible time. For a long time, no one spoke openly about it. Even today, you never really know who's on which side.
Kibru hopes a book will fully capture this chapter of history, ensuring the revolutionary struggle is remembered.